Hello again, Jacket fans, and welcome to another edition of Buzz Vision. Joining me for this segment is head men's basketball coach Bob Davis. Bob, thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much.
Bob, just first start off by telling us, we've gone through preseason, getting closer to the start of the regular season. Just give us your initial thoughts on this preseason so far.
Well, we've been excited about our season. We've been excited about just getting going and getting the kids on the floor. And we're pleased with the kids at this time that we have on the floor, and they seem to be responding to some of the things we're trying to do.
You got 3 seniors on the team this season. Tell us what you're hoping to see from them, what you're hoping they can bring to the table, both from a leadership standpoint and also on the floor.
Well, what you mentioned is a primary thing. Our leadership needs to be good. Our secondary leadership needs to be very good. And from everything from the locker room to the classroom to the dormitory life, and as well in the court, need to be monitored and kept up by those 3. It really facilitates things. And as you try to develop a culture, their understanding of it is critical. And they've been through some tough times, so their understanding of what needs to be done in order to improve it is critical also. And they've done a nice job to this point.
Now tell us a little bit about some of the newcomers coming in. You got a couple coming in from a junior college, and then you also have quite a bit of returners who are going to be sophomores this season. Tell us a little bit about them, what you're expecting for them to come in and do right away this season.
Well, we really at this point, many of our newcomers are a little bit ahead of our returners. Although they don't understand the system quite as well, they really do have a little bit more of a winning attitude to this point. Some of it is what we've been through the last couple of years. So there's a bit nice mix because those seniors are doing a nice job, and then with these kids coming in, we've got 2 that came out of a junior college and they played for a national championship last year, Chad Williams and Justin Jones. They both are doing a nice job. They're both interior players, and they know how to win, and they are committed to it. And then we've got a young man by the name of Ladaria Brown from Longview here, well, from Henderson actually, but he's a little bit older kid that has some tools and can play all over the floor and has done a nice job also. So we're pleased with some of those kids that are a little bit older, and they've added to sort of a winning attitude to this point. We're still building upon that, but we're real pleased to have those 3, and along with some freshmen and other transfers. Aaron Frizzell looks like he's a real warrior and could be a mainstay, in our program, as well as some of the kids that are competing at point guard. And Chris Hines looks good at this point. He's young, he's a freshman, and coming out of high school, so he does make some freshman mistakes, but he has a great knowledge of the game and a great ability to analyze the strengths of his teammates. And for his few practices he's been on the floor, he understands a lot more than a lot of young men do about how to play and how to utilize talents of his teammates.
Now tell us a little bit, obviously really wanting to get the program back to where it is. Tell us just some of your team goals this season, what you're hoping this team as a whole can accomplish coming into the 2012-13 season. Well,
mainly, our team goal is to try to make this a winning process. If you prepare properly, it doesn't matter if you're taking a math test or whatever. If you prepare properly, you'll go into the thing and you'll have the greatest chances of success. Doesn't mean you might be surprised by a question here or there, and it can happen, especially when you're young and trying to find a chemistry with 5 or 6 new kids within the mix. So we're really striving on this process to improve every day, to learn from our mistakes as well as our successes, and to move forward in a way that produces the best team by the end of the year. If we do that, we should be competitive in almost every game, I believe, this year. And if we're competitive, we're in there, and we learn how to play special situations down the wire. A lot of basketball games are decided down the wire. They did a study, a couple years ago that said that 75% of the games at the 5-minute mark of a game are within 6 points one way or the other. You're 6 down, you're 6 ahead, or you're somewhere in there. And when you really think about that, 75% of college basketball games, those last 5 minutes of the game are still in doubt. So you got to be able to learn to really execute in that time frame, as well as during the whole course of the game, but especially there.
Now, with those goals in mind, for this team to be successful, for this team to accomplish the goals that you guys have set this season, what does this team have to do at the end of the day?
Well, you know, you always get these phrases by coaches, but our commitment to each other, and our commitment to doing just things in a team manner, to understand the whole team chemistry and team play thing on both ends of the court. It's probably more important on the defensive end of the floor than even the offensive end of the floor, is critical. If you're going to play a championship level, there has to be a certain amount of everybody understanding where they fit. And that's going to be the biggest challenge that all of us face as coaches and as players, to learn your players. It's not like in high school or even Division I or Division II basketball, where a lot of times kids come in the summer and you have them working out all the way during the summer. You have them with weightlifting coaches. They're with your seniors, juniors that have been through the program. Our kids don't get in here, and we don't get to touch them until October 15th. So their ability to come together is really one of the major things that we have to do on both ends of the floor. And so everything that has to do with their understanding and their willingness to communicate intelligently with each other is really critical. There's some people that say a lot in basketball, but they don't really communicate with what's happening on the floor. And really, that's a higher level. A lot of kids aren't really taught to communicate. They're taught to cheer, or they're taught to say something, but they're not really taught to communicate. So those things are all in the mix there for us meshing on both ends of the floor.
Well, Bob, good luck to you this season.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to it. Don't forget, the men's basketball team, they will take on Ouachita Baptist today in a scrimmage. The first game will be on November 16th, where they will travel to Paul Quinn for their first game of the season. Be sure and check letuathletics.com for all up-to-date information on LeTourneau Athletics, including the men's basketball team. And don't forget about Media Day coming up on Tuesday, November 13th.